Hey everyone, welcome to my Module 3 presentation on advanced engagement. I chose three influencers that I would like to engage with, and the first one is Arianna Huffington. Arianna Huffington launched the Huffington Post. She's also author of Thrive, which she recently published. She is known for being a huge advocate for women and their rights, and she shares a lot via multiple social platforms. So if I were to engage with Arianna, which platforms would I use? Since Arianna is very active in with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, she has a blog. There's a lot of options there for me. So I guess it really depends on the content, or if she were to share a picture on Instagram, that would be something that I could engage with her via Instagram, or if she shares, a short tidbit on Twitter, that's another platform that I could use. So I think it really depends on what content or what exactly is shared. Um, Arianna often blogs for the Huffington Post, so when it comes to the blogging, there's that's really more about content. So I think that's a little bit more, well informed and a lot more information than what you can actually share on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. So I think with that, if there's a blog that really connects with me or that I connect with, that's a platform that I would actually engage with her. So it really, again, depends on what is it that I connect with and that I want and that I want to use to engage with her. So if I were to begin a conversation with Arianna, how would I do that? So like I said, she is very active with multiple social media platforms. But I think one of the things that I've noticed is that she does tend to share a lot of her quotes from within her Thrive book. I think that a lot of her quotes, really do connect with a lot of people and they start a conversation. So I think that would be something that I would use and leverage to start a conversation with her. If there's a quote that really, hits home or that I really agree with, I think that's when I would start a conversation with. I actually haven't read her books. It is on my to-do list, and that's the first thing I'm going to do is really, get connected with the book and see if there's anything that I can use to start a conversation with her. The second way to start a conversation, I think, is actually great for any influencer, and that is to ask a question. I think if you're following someone that really influences you, you want to learn more, you want to connect with that person, and one of the best ways to do that is to ask a question. I mean, if there's something that you want to learn more about, then that's your opportunity to really get to know more about that person or about a subject that really you want to learn more about, is by asking a question. And also the third option is to share a picture. What I was actually thinking is when I get her book, I'm going to take a picture, upload it either on Instagram or Twitter, tag her on it, and just let her know how excited I am about reading her book. Not only am I actually creating awareness for her book, but I'm also kind of letting her know, hey, this is important to me, and I want all my social media platforms and networks to know about it. So it's a great way to not only start a conversation with her, but to raise awareness for her as an influencer. My second influencer is Justin Thorpe. Justin is the VP of Marketing and Community Development at Tech Cocktail, which is a media company and events organization for startups, for entrepreneurs, and also technology enthusiasts. He is very active on Twitter, and that seems to be the only social media platform that I could find him in. He does have an about.me page, which will allow you to directly email him, but you do need to be a member of the site. So since I am not, Twitter would be the platform that I would use to engage with Justin. So if I were to engage with Justin, how would I begin a conversation with him? Again, asking questions. I think that is the best way to really start a conversation started, especially with someone that is of influence to me. Since he is big in the marketing and community development world, I think asking, a question related to social media wouldn't hurt. I want to learn more about social media, so I would obviously ask someone who is an influencer in that world. He does share a lot of articles with his followers, so I think even replying to content that he shares would be a great way to start a conversation. Even if it's just, hey Justin, thanks for sharing this great article. And then also make a suggestion. I actually noticed that he likes to share a lot of um, articles or even, just suggestions about food. So if there's something that I think he hasn't tried or that he should try, that's definitely something that I would give my 2 cents in. Even if he's just like, hey, has anyone tried the new taco at Taco Bell? I think that's something that, excuse me, could start a conversation. My third influencer is Lala Lopez. Lala is a digital journalist. She is a social media enthusiast and a contributor at Fashions Collective. She is very active with multiple social platforms. She's got a Twitter page. She's got her own website where she uploads videos and blog posts. She's got a YouTube channel, and she's also got an Instagram profile. So I have several options to engage with Lala, and I think again it really depends on what was shared where. If there's something that was shared via YouTube, and I think that it was a great video that she uploaded, I think that that would be the platform to really connect with her and let her know and comment on a video. So leading up to that, how would I begin a conversation with Lala? Lala is, she is really big into fashion, social media. So I think with Lala, I have a ton of options and ways to really start a conversation with her. So I would definitely ask Lala for some fashion advice. Like I mentioned, she does post blogs up on her website, and it really all varies. So she'll post on social media, she'll post on interviews she had with a CEO, or she'll post on vintage fashion. So there's the platform that I would use to start a conversation with her. So again, maybe making a comment, hey, loved your article, really great, can you post more on these? Again, asking a question, it wouldn't hurt. Since she's really into social media and fashion, I think that's the best, opportunity right there for me to start a conversation with her. And she does post a lot of interviews that she does with CEOs or social media professionals in the fashion world. So there is a lack of those. She does them very often at one time, but then there'll be like a huge gap. So maybe any feedback on that. Hey Lala, love your interviews. Can you post more of those on the site? And again, as I said, request for additional original content. It doesn't hurt to ask a question. Hey, love your videos. Are you going to post more of these? Or even, a little bit more on fashion and social media. She is an influencer in that realm. So if I do want to learn more, I think that would be a great starter point to really start a conversation with her. So how can we spur these influencers to act more effectively within the community? I mean, I think the obvious answer here is to engage, but there's more to engage than just communicating and starting a conversation. I think it's really kind of like a two-way road. The influencer, shares what they want, but it also depends on you to continue that engagement, to start the conversation and to share yourself. By you sharing, you're creating more awareness for this influencer or something that the influencer is very strong about, feels very strong on, and maybe you feel strong on. So, it's kind of like you just gotta keep doing it. You have to ask questions, you have to interact, you have to share, because it's really, like I said, a two-way road. It's if just this person, this influencer is sharing and no one's doing anything, they're going to hit a roadblock. So you can't be afraid to ask questions. You can't be afraid to interact. You can't hold yourself back. If there's something that you're thinking that influencer said and you want to really, start a conversation, you need to do it. It really depends on you as well for this influencer to succeed in their community. So these are the 5 social posts that I would um, ask or comment or start a conversation with these influencers. So for Ariana via Twitter, I would start a conversation regarding a blog post she did earlier in the month for actually earlier last month. She was sharing something about, thriving and how you really need to get rid of the negative, the negative Nancy in your head. There's always that little voice in your head that's telling you that you can't. So she shared a quote from her mother that said, "Angels fly because they take themselves lightly." So in this case, I would share this quote and tag her in it, just saying, "Hey, thanks for sharing." And I would include the link to the article. A second post for Ariana would be via Twitter or Instagram, and I spoke about this earlier, but once I do get her book, I plan on taking a picture of that book and letting her know, "Hey, just got your book, really excited to begin thriving," since that is the title of her book. And again, upload the picture of the book and tag her in it. I think that's, even if I don't get an answer, that is a step towards conversation and also raising awareness for her book. For Lala, I would ask her via Twitter. Like I mentioned, she does post a lot of videos, videos with CEOs, social media experts. So since she doesn't do them very often, I want to see more of those. So in this case, I would say, Lala Lopez, really enjoy your video interviews. Any new ones coming up soon? I think that's actually, a starting point to a great conversation with her, because hopefully she would reply back, "Hey, planning on doing those in X amount of time." And then I would also ask her via Twitter, "Lala Lopez, what's your favorite vintage store in New York City?" Since she is really into fashion and vintage, I think that she would be a great person to reach out to in that case. And then to Justin, since he is the VP of Marketing and Community Development, I think when it comes to that sort of, more professional feedback in that sense, I would ask him, "What's your secret to success as a community manager?" Since, that is my goal at some point, the more information I could get, the more feedback, the more help, it doesn't hurt. So again, it really doesn't hurt to ask questions. It really doesn't hurt to, even if it's just a comment or a picture of a book, it doesn't hurt to really, start a conversation. And hey, you never know, they might retweet it, they might actually reply. So I think these would be 5 great social posts to start a conversation. And that is the end of my presentation. Have a great night, everyone.